Welcome to the internet. I'll be your guide, and today we are going to talk about review bombing, because review bombing is a very, very bad thing, so I've been told by the mainstream overlords. I have been told when fans use their voices simply to impact the Rotten Tomatoes score, we can't have that. And I'm here to stand against that very thing. Because earlier I reported that the Acolyte dropped to 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, the worst score we have ever seen. I go over to Rotten Tomatoes before I record this video. It's at 14%. Now we have fans positively review bombing this film, and that is completely unacceptable, and I stand against review bombing, just like my mainstream overlords have told me, because if you go to a website and voice your opinion, if it doesn't line up with what you personally think, therefore it must be review bombing. So now we have Disney Star Wars fans review bombing The Acolyte over on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the logic that I've been told, so we're just going to go with that. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it did drop to 13%. It is a disaster. It's a complete and total disaster, and it gets even worse. I reported yesterday that Leslye Headland started her backtracking on The Acolyte and all of the criticism that's going on with it. And now you have the New York Post dropping this article right here, and they put a whole different spin on it. Queer creator of gayest Star Wars series claps back at haters who claim it's woke propaganda with lesbian space witches. What a freaking headline right there. Holy crap. We're going to go back to that. But I posted this over on Twitter. Asmongold reacted to Gary's video, his phenomenal video on Disney Star Wars. And I had to clip out this moment right here because it's just so damn good. Watch this glorious moment right here.
Jedi Master Nepo does some girl bossing and quickly assesses that May was trained by a Jedi. How? From this hologram. The nepotism is strong with this one, but I'm not really sure how she figured it out. Maybe it was these awesome Jedi moves.
It's so good.
This is sad, bro. Really? I mean, this shit is sad. Oh my god. How can it be so bad?
I love his react. And this is why, listen, if you are a good reactor, and Asmongold is a good reactor, he's good. You can, this is transformative content. Like Gary obviously makes phenomenal videos. Asmon is reacting to the video, and he's giving a phenomenal reaction here. It's so funny.
This is sad, bro.
And that kind of sums up Disney Star Wars at this point in time. And you go back to this article right here, and again, the way that New York Post is framing it is completely different than the way that I framed it. And this sounds terrible. This sounds awful for Leslye Headland. So we're going to roll with this one right here, because Leslye Headland is Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant. And someone in my comments was like, bro, we get it. You don't have to say Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant every time you mention it, Leslye Headland. Oh, yes, I do. I absolutely do. Because every single person needs to understand that Leslye Headland is Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant. But yes, New York Post here, this headline is glorious. This headline is the greatest thing I could have. Like, this is better than a Mike Zero headline. Okay, this is better than a Mike Zero clickbait headline right here. One more time. Queer creator of gayest Star Wars series claps back at haters who claim it's woke propaganda with lesbian space witches. Holy shit, this is amazing. The creator of the controversial Disney Plus Star Wars show, The Acolyte, is pushing back against those who say her show is woke propaganda featuring lesbian space witches, slamming the criticism as reductive. Leslye Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, the first openly queer person to create a major Star Wars project, as the Hollywood Reporter described her, spoke with the outlet this week about the backlash the show has gotten for its progressive themes, telling the outlet that she never intended to make a show with an overt political agenda, even if it contains some LGBTQ plus messaging. I don't believe that I've created a queer with a capital Q content, Headland told the entertainment outlet. And I talked about that yesterday in terms of like, what the hell does that even mean? Star Wars: The Acolyte has proven to be the most one of the most divisive entries in the Star Wars franchise since its debut on the Disney streaming platform earlier this month. Despite being a hit with critics, of course it is, it currently features an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes rating among professional movie reviewers and a 14% audience score, the lowest rating in the category among all Star Wars fans. The Disney-owned film franchise has been criticized by fans in recent years who claim the company has embraced woke storylines and characters while with slamming The Acolyte as the most progressive one yet. The show's LGBTQ reputation has preceded itself, generating a now viral moment where a journalist from The Wrap told Headland and non-binary star Amanda Stenberg during an interview that the show is the gayest Star Wars by a considerable margin. Though she and the actor were amused by the question, Headland suggested it wasn't something she was aiming for. Still, she accepted the characterization, saying, "I'm frankly into it." During her interview with THR, Headland appeared inclined to temper some of the reaction to her interview with The Wrap. And that's where I framed this as her backpedaling against all of this. New York Post took it to a whole different level. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that too. I was surprised by the questions, she said. Amanda and I just burst out laughing because that's our knee-jerk reaction to being asked about that. But to be honest, I don't know what the term gay means in that sense. I don't believe I've created a queer with a capital Q content. Again, she says she doesn't understand what gay means, but then she says she created a queer with a capital Q content or doesn't believe she did that. What a weird statement. Headland also weighed in on the controversial storyline in episode 3 of The Acolyte, which seemed to confirm critics' worst fears about the overt LGBTQ propaganda being part of the show. The narrative in question implied that two powerful witches belonging to an all-female society used force match. Fuck. I don't know if I can. How does somebody write this? It's not a. This isn't comedy. This is the New York Post. The New York Post. One more time. The narrative in question implied that two powerful witches belonging to an all-female society used force magic to generate their female offspring, the twin main characters of the show played by Stenberg. What an amazing thing that we just saw. In social media circles, disgruntled fans start mocking the series for having made lesbian space witches a legitimate part of the Star Wars canon. Headland slammed that reading of the episode, telling the outlet, they're in a matriarchal society. As a gay woman, I knew it would read that their sexuality is queer, but there aren't any men in their community, so a closeness between the two of them would be natural. It seemed plot-driven. I would say it's really reductive to call them lesbians. I think it means that you're not really paying attention to this story, she added. Headland reiterated, though, that she isn't making an LGBTQ series. She stands by the queerness of the show. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? I'm proud of being a gay woman who's accomplished this feat, and certainly if my content is called queer, I don't want to disown whatever queerness is in the show. I would be proud to create something that inspired queer people, she said. The creator also slammed fans who spin the show's LGBTQ plus themes as a negative thing, stating, honestly, I feel sad for people that think that if there's something we're gay, that would be bad. It makes me feel sad that a bunch of people on the internet would somehow dismantle what I consider to be the most important piece of art that I've ever made. And I did cover all of that in my previous video as well. But this was an amazing headline by the New York Post. And I just want to say, shout out to you guys. That headline is gold. queer creator of gayest Star Wars series claps back at haters who claim it's woke propaganda with lesbian space witches. This is amazing. Disney Star Wars is in the trash to a level that we have not seen. We now have, Disney Star Wars fans review bombing the score on Rotten Tomatoes, which again, I've been told is very toxic. I've been told that that's very toxic. And it only happens. I just refreshed to make sure. And the toxicity is still in place. Positive review bombing, very toxic, according to our mainstream overlords. So I'm just repeating what I was told by our mainstream overlords. But ultimately, this series is a trash fire. It really is. And they're trying to, we are going to get to the level where we've already seen it with Star Wars Theory, where they're trying to manipulate and twist what people are saying and what they're meaning. Even though Theory puts it out there every video, I don't even do as good a job of that as he does. And I'll have to do it here. No, I don't think that there should be any hate directed at these people on a personal level, but on a professional level. They should be criticized. They should be criticized constantly. They should not be attacked personally. They should be attacked professionally. They should be criticized for the product that they're putting out, and that is it. I don't support anything beyond that. Professional criticism, that's it. And we have to say that because they try to manipulate and twist every single thing that we say to mean something that it doesn't. So you have to be crystal clear when you are breaking this down. But ultimately, Leslye Headland has made it clear that she does not like Star Wars fans. She does not like Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy has said that. She's proven that. Everyone involved with Lucasfilm has proven it. They started attacking the fans before this show even came out. That was to tell you that they knew that they had a pile of trash right there, and they were getting ahead of it. And now we've reached the point where Amanda Listenberg, the star, brings out a diss track. It's amazing to witness. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.